I'm gonna record before I forget, and then I'm gonna mute you, Vanessa, just so we don't have any feedback. Okay. All right. So we're gonna talk about tonight is Instagram. So we have a lot of new coaches. So obviously, for you more seasoned coaches who are on this call right now, this is gonna be just another old hat that maybe a good refresher, I guess. But so this is more for the newbies that are just kind of learning and coming on to Instagram, and kind of figuring things out. So I do not have my phone in front of me. It died on it died because Taylor called me and he was like, I need your help. Like, my mom got a flat tire and I don't have my vehicle. My vehicle's actually in the shop in Gackle. And so anyway, there was no vehicle here. So pregnant old me had to walk up to the farm and find a vehicle, go get my mother-in-law, and come back here. So anyway, this just happened like 30 minutes ago. But anyway, here I am. So my phone was dead, so I put it on the charger because it was dead before I even left. So, but hopefully I'll get by tonight without needing my phone. So we're going to talk about Instagram. So kind of like how to gain new followers, posting, editing posts, Instagram stories, retaining followers, reaching out to people, / inviting, and doing posts. So we have a lot to cover, so I'm going to hop right to it. So the first thing is gaining followers. Obviously, that is the big goal of Instagram. You know, a lot of Facebook, like Facebook has a limited number. I think it's like 3,000, or no, I think it's 5,000 people, I think, on Facebook for friends. I think. Because I think I have like 20, is it 2,300? I don't remember. I'd have to look. But I think it is like, it has a limit, right? For friends, that's all I know. I don't know exactly what that number is. I think it might be 5,000. But as that limit, where Instagram, there is no limit for followers or, you know, how many people, like, you want obviously 10,000 followers. And a lot of people ask, like, why 10,000? Because that's when you get the swipe up feature. A lot of you ask, or why don't I have that? And other coaches do. It's when you get 10,000 followers. And in the past, like, I don't know, probably a couple of years ago, people were paying like services to kind of run their Instagram, and then they would follow a bunch of people. And those don't work, you guys, because they're going to end up following a bunch of random accounts just to get followers, and they're not going to be true lifers. So yeah, it's great to have those 10,000 followers. I know Rose did this, but she said like none of them are like her people, you know? And so her true followers are like, you know, the people that are liking your posts every day or watching your stories. They're not like your, you know, 10,000 or 13,000 followers. So it is important to gain followers. You definitely want to be gaining followers, but you don't want to do it as a paid service. So don't even let that tempt you. You want to do this organically. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to think about products or shops or even your own followers that you have currently. So for me, like right now, it's been a lot of baby things. So I'm trying to think of something in particular, maybe the Snoo or the Oli Swaddle or the Nanit baby monitor that we have. Going in there and looking at their page and going to a particular post and clicking on it, and then, out of breath, and clicking on it and then seeing who else liked that picture. And then you can kind of just, I'm never too, you know, judgy about who I follow. But if they do have like the rings, you know, like if they are a public page, go and make sure that they're not another coach or some other MLM, because you don't want them. They're just going to try to sell you something, and they're a coach, they're already on a team or they have their own team. So make sure that they're not any of those things. Boutiques are really great. I love the Southern Fried Chicks boutique. There's a Gypsy Pearl one that I really like. Country Outfitter or Boot Barn are really great ones too. I love Public Figures too, but just be careful. Jesse James Decker, Allie Green, her future sister-in-law, I love them too. I follow them too. They're really great. But just be careful, because there's probably more MLMs under there, or there might be just randomers, like weirdos that you don't want to follow. So just be careful under the public figures. It's better to do boutiques or products that you love. Or the best favorite, or my best tip, is to just do your followers who are friends with you already. And what you do is basically, while you're scrolling through your newsfeed, and let's say you come across this picture and you liked it. Maybe it's a sunflower field. Maybe it's, a teacher going back to school in her classroom and you liked it. And so the thing of it is you can go under her likes and see who else liked it. And then you can follow people from there, because if there's 50 other likes, I can guarantee you that at least there's probably 15 or 20 maybe other teachers in there, or other farm wives, or somebody that you're going to relate to the best. Whereas baby products or boutiques, you just don't really know who you're getting, so by having your own followers, and then you can probably be like, oh, hey, so-and-so, and, like maybe you'll have a few connections as well. So the very minimum, you probably want to be following at least 20 people a day on Instagram, just because to make headway. And following people is so easy. I mean, you can do it while you're sitting on the toilet, for gosh sakes. I mean, come on. Following people is mindless. You don't need to be thinking. You can do it at night. You can do it when you're laying in your bed and trying to wake up in the morning. It's something that you can do that's productive while being totally brain dead, if you have to be. Okay. The other thing you want to try and do is what I do. So say you're following 20 people a day, Monday through Friday. So that's like 100 people a week, right? I think. So if you're doing that, not all of them are going to follow you back, sorry to say. So one of the apps that I use is the Unfollow app. And I know that you guys who have Androids, you weren't able to get some of the other apps before, I think. This one is new. I just recently found this one and I really like it. You pay to do it, to have, I think it's like, what was it, like $2 or something, to have unlimited unfollows. But then again, you want to be careful, because you don't want to unfollow like all 500 people per day, because Instagram will flag you. So you kind of want to do it in batches, like maybe 100 people here, and then you can wait, till the evening and do another 100, and just kind of unfollow people. But that's usually my time to unfollow people, is usually on the weekend. And it's been a couple of weeks. So now I'm up again, I'm high in my people that I'm following. And so I need to start unfollowing people that don't follow me back, because I haven't done it for a while. I don't do it every weekend, but probably a good rule of thumb is like once or twice a month. If you're not doing it every weekend, which can get a lot. But even just in the morning, like I said, just go through, unfollow people. That's as monotonous as following people, because your phone does all the work for you. So again, that's the Unfollow app. So that's kind of gaining followers and unfollowing people. Does anybody else, you guys, Krista and Vanessa, you guys have, okay, awesome. Do you guys have anything to add to that I maybe missed about unfollowing or following that would be helpful to new people?
The other thing is just the hashtags. Like I do use those as well to find people. And then I try to find, like, if I do find like a teacher, maybe like, cause my audience that I'm like working with is a lot of teachers, just because they can relate to me. So like if I find one of the teachers that has like 20,000 followers, obviously I'm not going to probably add her, because I'm probably not going to get an ad back, but I will click on some of her posts. And the people who are interacting with her posts are most often the ones that will actually like reply to my messages and actually interact with me more too, because they're the ones that are more active on Instagram, I find.
Exactly. Krista, did you have anything?
I was just going to say basically the same thing as Vanessa. I sometimes start out with a bigger pages, the people that have a lot of followers, but then I kind of narrow it down. So I'll go to people that have liked their posts as well and see kind of who I feel like is more fitting towards me instead of having thousands of followers. If they have like a couple hundred, I kind of go towards them because that's kind of even with where I am.
Exactly. And hashtags are a really great one too. So I'm glad Vanessa brought that up. I totally forgot about that. So hashtags are really great, but it's not something I use a lot. I probably use the system that I said more for myself. But hashtags are really great too. But you just have to be careful because some things are getting overused. Like I follow the Farm Wife or Farm Wife Life hashtag, and I just seen like several coaching posts today. So I was like, okay, so I'm not going to use that one anymore. So it kind of is process of elimination too, where you're like, okay, like that one's getting overused, or even probably for teachers as well, since Krista and Vanessa are both teachers. So just kind of finding hashtags that aren't as used. Hashtags could also be useful with product as well. Baby products or clothing, tagging like hashtag red dress boutique or whatever could be helpful as in finding people as well. Okay, so the next one that we're going to talk about is, since we're talking about adding and gaining followers, we're going to talk about retaining followers. So how is this done? Honestly, you guys, this is a hard one because every demographic is different, and it's really up to you what you are trying to convey, and also who you are as a coach, and as who you kind of set your business up for. So remember, like I always say, the 5 topics, like talking about really defining who you are. Like for me, those topics are like faith, farming, fitness, shopping, Hobby Lobby, kind of all the things, crafting when I get time, cookies, obviously being pregnant. So there's more than 5 right there that I can talk about. But you have to think about, even just giving like a little synopsis in your bio when you convert your Instagram to a business page, which you can do in the settings. It's super easy. You can Google it even if you have to. If you haven't done that yet, do it. It gives you more insights on when to post, but also you can gain more insights, like kind of just on like what is better for posting, all of that jazz. So how do you retain your followers? So speaking of like those 5 topics that I always tell you guys to like post about, you can kind of do like a little synopsis like in your bio, and you can kind of have like farming or whatever is girl mom, teacher, whatever you are talking about. And so that gives people kind of like, okay, this is what she's all about. I'm going to follow her. And I've honestly lost followers either way. Like, there's no easy way to keep followers and retain them. But obviously, that is the goal. You want to have like long-term followers. You also want to be able to relate to them. And so I think that is a huge part of this, is just relating to your followers and knowing the audience that you're talking to specifically. I've had people follow me for years before they ever sign up and buy a challenge pack. But you also want to treat your followers not just like your followers, you want to treat them as friendships and friends. You don't just want to be, treat them like little minions and be like, like what is that? Not the Minion movie, but like I forget what it's called, with Gru, and he's like, you left, and his voice. And so you don't want to treat them like that. You want to be treating them, Despicable Me, yes. You want to treat them, that was a pretty good Gru voice, like I might add. A lot. But yeah, so you want to be treating them like real people and relating to them, and not just being like, talking like a robot and talking about Beachbody. So that really comes in, like I said, those 5 topics that we always talk about to be posted. So retaining your followers kind of all comes down to being relatable, being yourself, and being just genuine and caring about your followers. Just reaching out on your Insta stories just to say, hey, thanks so much for watching my stories. I really appreciate it. That's how I do a lot of my invites, by the way, as of lately, is by doing that. You get quite a few who are coaches already, or maybe working with a coach, but they still like to watch you. But at least you're still, reaching out and, liking or thanking them, for following you. It makes you seem more real. So yeah, just being real, being genuine, being yourself, posting about what you say you're going to post about. If you say that you're a teacher and you're not posting anything about being a teacher, they're going to be like, okay, is she really a teacher, or what does this girl really do? And I always like to say this kind of goes hand in hand with posting. We'll talk about that next. But if you have like the little synopsis on your page of what you're posting about, if people come to your page, you want to be able to, number one, inspire them, or have some sort of kind of like they're going to come back. Like they're going to come back to be inspired. Maybe you had a good recipe on there. You want them to come back. So come back / be inspired, or kind of gain something from your page. Number two, you want them to know that there is a business opportunity to work with you and earn an income on the side. And number three, you want them to know that there's a fitness opportunity to get in shape with you. So those are the main things that when people come to your Instagram page or your Facebook page as well, you want people to know those things, those three things. So let's kind of transition into posting, because that's super important, because that's kind of a good piece. Did I miss anything on retaining? Did anybody have anything to add on retaining people? Nope. Okay. So posting. Okay, so I told somebody this today. I had a couple of new coach calls today, and I said, when I was a new coach, we were expected or told to post 3 to 5 times a day. I think my brain exploded when I heard that. I would typically post 2 or 3 times, but 5 was even a lot for myself. But granted, back then there wasn't Insta stories, and that's kind of how the algorithms worked on Facebook. And like I said, it wasn't Instagram. So right now, posting is definitely more quality over quantity, for sure. So even if you're posting once a day, or you are doing a lot of Insta stories, combination with posting every other day. And I would say at the minimum, you should be posting 5 days a week at the minimum. And that is a really great goal. I just had a new coach tell me that was her goal. So I was like, that is great. I like that. I like that 5 days a week thing. Because then that gives you a little break if you don't want to post Friday or Saturday, And as far as posting goes, I have to take a drink of my Diet Coke to burp. Pregnancy. Anyway, so if you are having a hard time posting and coming up with those posts, go back to those 5 topics that I always tell people to talk about, because that's a really good rule of thumb. But also with posting, you kind of have to think about, there's good days to post certain things, and then there's bad days to post certain things. So as far as health and fitness or coaching, as far as like call to action, like meet posts that people come to your page that you want people to see. Sunday night is good. Monday is good. Tuesday is good. Wednesday is getting iffy. Thursday is pretty good. Wednesday is kind of that middle of the week where people are kind of not, it's kind of iffy. But Thursday is good, and then Friday and Saturday are terrible. All right. But if you want to do like lifestyle posts, Wednesday would be a great day. Friday and Saturday would be great days to talk about date night, to talk about something funny your kids did this week, to talk about teaching, to talk about, how you're stressed with your new school schedule, whatever you want to talk about. Those would be great days to post about that sort of thing. Even like Vanessa does such a great job. She decorates a lot of her classroom, and Krista will be going back too. But like do like a little like, I don't know, like Hobby Lobby, I don't know, show about your classroom. That'd be fun too. Like decorating, I don't know. I'd be all about that if I was a teacher. So anyway, just kind of thinking about posts that you can do. On Sunday night is the night that I sit down. Taylor does book work right behind me at his desk, and I sit down and I kind of plan out my week. And that includes planning out posting and what I'm going to be talking about. It doesn't have to be anything set in stone, but it's just something like, okay, Monday, health and fitness post. Tuesday, maybe coaching post. Wednesday, lifestyle. Thursday, coaching. Friday, lighthearted. And then Sunday, coaching, or Sunday night coaching, and it just depends like what time of the month it is as well, because like I said, the first half of the month, I'm all about finding new challengers that people want to join my challenge group. So that way you can hit Success Club early in the month and you don't have to worry about it. However, the second half of the month, I'm definitely focusing on finding coaches. So the first half, maybe you'll want to do 2 health and fitness posts per week in those 5 days that you're posting, or, 5 times minimum. And then in the second half, you're going to want to find, maybe doing 2 coaching posts versus, 2 fitness posts. So kind of setting up your month and really strategizing. And I'm telling you guys this because it's almost a new month. This is important. So posting is huge. And obviously it takes time, because a lot of new coaches are like sitting there and they're like, why am I not making progress? It's because posting is huge. That's how people are going to be relating to you. That's how people are going to see you. And that's how people are going to know that you're doing this. If I was just quiet for the past 4.5 years of my business and I wouldn't have said anything, I probably wouldn't have much of a team or a challenge group, So this business is truly about posting on social media. And honestly, it's probably at the beginning, this wasn't so, but probably at least once a month, someone comes to me and says, hey, I'm ready to join your challenge group. And this didn't happen early on, not that much anyway. But I would say at least I can count on it to be at least once a month that somebody says that, without like really hardcore inviting, which is really nice. So another thing that goes along with posting is editing posts. So now Instagram isn't like Facebook. You can throw up a picture from your photos album on your phone. It's unedited. People will love the heck out of that. But Instagram, it's not so much. I like to use the Lightroom app. And there are presets on there that are free that you can use. However, Etsy has really great ones for really cheap. They're like $1, $2, like 99 cents even. Cheap. And I don't want you to spend a ton. Maybe set up a budget of $5 and just kind of buy a few of them and try them out and see what you like. I did this last fall. It took me a few tries to find one that I liked, but I got it and I love it because it's not so whitewashed, doesn't make you look like, you're so pale all year round. I love it. It makes my photos look kind of rustic, but you kind of want to have if you like the whitewash stuff, that's awesome. That's really in right now. But just trying to find, like I said, setting yourself a budget, finding something that you really like and just sticking with it. And it's super easy. If you guys need, I'm not here to talk about a Lightroom tutorial. I know Kayla Sandy now. Sorry, Kayla. She did a tutorial last fall, I think, for us or maybe it was the spring, on Lightroom, on editing. There's even YouTube videos, so don't be afraid to YouTube. I'm not here to talk about that tonight. I'm just here to talk about Instagram. So if you need tutorials or have questions on Lightroom, definitely look it up and do your own research, because we all had to kind of do that. Vanessa did it, I've done it. So just make sure that you do your research. But yeah, like I said, they do have cheap ways of getting filters. So use those. Don't be afraid to invest in your business. When you invest a little bit in your business and make it look professional, you just stand out that much more. You know, don't be afraid to do that. That is super important. You know, other things that you want to invest in, personal development, you know, that's super important as well. But like I said, we're just here talking about Instagram tonight. So another thing that goes with posting is stories. So I always try to say is if you're posting like 5 times a week as a goal, you should have a goal of doing at least 10 stories a day. And 10 stories, that's easy. Half of those could be your workout videos. 3 to 5 could be your workout snips. I love the Unfold app for doing my workout clips. It makes it look really professional with like a white background or black background. You can add text. It was free, but I think there are in-app things that you can pay for, but they're cheap again. They're like 99 cents, and then you get like all the, oh my gosh, what do you call them? Like the, not presets, but whatever, templates, whatever, for your little stories. And you can also use this for doing like coaching opportunity stories as well. Like it makes pictures just look really nice, like having a nice white clean border. It looks very professional and just like you spent a lot of time doing it, even though you maybe didn't. So I say like 10 a day. You can share your devotion on there. You can share a PD snippet. And if you're looking for what to share, does somebody want to throw up the link maybe to like the coach tracker or something like that while I'm talking on here? Just throw it up. Because there is on the coach tracker in the back office, there is like a little, I don't know, kind of like a little tracker thing to check off of what you could post for your Insta stories. Like you could share a product, you could shout out challengers, you could do a coaching post, obviously not in the same day, kind of stagger them, kind of the same thing with posting. Like you don't want to do a coaching opportunity post and a health and fitness post in the same day. So it's kind of the same thing with your stories, just be smart about it. But you can still shout out challengers, you know, you can share little snippets of your life, kind of the same thing about posting as well. And stories, you guys, they are huge for the fact that people kind of get like a behind the scenes look at your life. And they're like, oh, she's super relatable. She's a teacher too, or she's a stay-at-home mom, or she's a farm wife, you know, and she has to drive all over the country too, you know, for her husband or whatever, you know. So just, you know, show parts of your life that you probably wouldn't get to show on social media otherwise. Lately, I've been loving showing like baby products and things like that, and people have all kinds of questions. They're like, oh my gosh, where did you get that book, or where did you find that sippy, or whatever. So it's kind of fun sharing that sort of thing. But it's also kind of fun showing like crafting things, you know, too. Like if you don't have kids, or showing your dog or your cat, or you know, there's all kinds of things. And if you say your life is boring, like I left the house twice today, once to get the mail, and the second time was to go get Taylor's mom from the field who had a flat tire. So, and sometimes there's times when I don't leave the house at all during the day. All right. So just know that your story is important, and that even today, like I had a couple coach calls, new calls with new coaches, and I went on and I was like, hey, like I had a couple new coach calls today. And we talked about social media and, you know, share like what you're doing. Like if you have to follow up with people, that's a good time to, thanks, Krista. That's a really great time to be able to share and be like, hey, like we talked about social media, or I have to follow up with, you know, a few people that want to be a part of this group on your stories. It's not something that you'd probably post about, but it's something that you can share with your stories. You can also shout out like the girls that have signed up this month. So Callie, Stacy, whatever, you know, their names are. You can shout them out, you know, kind of have like an ongoing list and say, I have 2 promos left, or whatever, you know, whatever you're going to try and say. So really posting about your IG stories and kind of having like almost a behind the peak for coaching, right there on your stories. And you don't even have to host a group. You can kind of do it on your stories and just have, hey, like you're talking about mentoring, you're talking about leadership, you're talking about how you have to follow up with some girls that want to get in your group because you only have 2 spots left, or, kind of like creating urgency about it. Is there anything else that I forgot with stories that anybody wanted to add that they were like?
Yeah. You want to go first, Vanessa? Okay. So I think I did a video a while back, but on creating polls inside your stories. A lot of people like to share their opinions. So if you give them the chance, they will usually take it. And it doesn't always have to be related to health and fitness. It can be literally anything. Should I paint my nails this color or this color? And let them pick, just to get engagement on your stories. And then you can kind of turn it into fitness stuff or health stuff later. What do you struggle with more, the fitness or health stuff?
Krista, just one thing too is
Yeah.
I totally spaced out and forgot about, but yes, polls are important. And you could even if you did want to do health and fitness, like you could say like, what do you struggle with more, like nutrition or workouts, or, kind of like leading up to like a challenge group kind of whole thing.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. You're fine. That's exactly where I was going. Because once they start interacting on your stories, you'll notice that your health and fitness polls will get more attraction. And then you can use that. One of the best features on the polls is that you can share the results. So then if people say they struggle more with nutrition, you can share that result and talk about Ultimate Portion Fix or something like that.
And another good rule of thumb too to remember with your polls, especially if you're doing like a coaching one or a health and fitness one, is never put yes, like a yes and a no, like never have a no. Is maybe say like, I'm curious, or I want more information, or send me a message, or I'd love to go all in, or I'm ready to do this, like never have like say like, nope, that looks boring. Like people, of course they're going to hit that, like, or no, that looks awful. Sometimes I do it like sarcastically, like, no, my nutrition is perfect. You know what I mean? Like would be one that like, no, I struggle with nutrition, or versus like, no, my nutrition is perfect all the time. Like that is something that I would say just because I kind of like being sarcastic, but that would be something as well. But yeah, polls are huge. Also doing like the little questionnaire thing they have too, as well. That is huge too. You could even do it about yourself. Or you could say something like, doing like a fun fact Friday. I know I did that for a little while about, thinking about like fun little facts about you. And then you have the right answer, like how did you and your husband meet? Just little fun facts that not a lot of people know. So yeah, is Vanessa, that's what you're going to say too, is the poll thing? Okay, awesome. Okay, I think we got everything. We have 5 minutes left, so I'm going to try to get through the rest of what we have to do. Okay, so I think I got that one. Okay, so we have one thing left to cover, is reaching out to people who follow you / inviting. So this is a really important one. You definitely want to keep track of who follows you back. You want to be able to, nice like Krista. You want to be able to keep track of who follows you back. So that way you can reach out to them and you can, you were like on my main screen, Krista, so that's why like I said that, not to be like weird, but you were the last one like on my main screen. But anyway, so you want to be able to keep track of people who follow you, so that way you can send them like a little cute message. So this is something what I would say. Your husband's dancing. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna just copy and paste this in here. So I would say, hey, Krista, thank you so much for following me. I really appreciate it. I love being able to inspire other ladies. My husband and I farm and ranch in North Dakota. Another thing that I could add is we're having a little girl this fall. You know, where are you from? I don't know if you saw, but I love being able to help other women on their health and fitness journeys. Have you ever thought about being a part of my Country Strong Fit Club or team? I'd love to have you. And I get a lot of really good response from that back. And it's kind of like an invite as well. And I don't throw this up like as soon as somebody follows me. I usually wait a couple of days or even a week or two, and then I'll send this message just because you don't want to freak people out. Another really great way of reaching out to people, like I said, is following up with people who watch your stories and sending them an invite. Also, people who are commenting or liking on your posts, to invite them is a really good way as well to send out invites or kind of connect with people. And also, genuinely connecting with people means not just liking photos, you know, on Instagram, not just doing the heart. Anybody can do that. You want to be going through your stories, not just mine or, you know, any other coach on this team. You want to actually be going through other people who are not coaches and engaging with them and being like, oh my gosh, that sweater is so cute. Where did you get it? Or I can't wait for pumpkin spice season either, you know, or whatever you're going to talk to them about. Commenting on people. When somebody has an anniversary, comment on it, message them, send them a message, send them a nice short message. Keep track of that for later. You can always invite them. When somebody has a baby, send them a message. You can invite them, you know, in a couple of months if they want to join our group. You know, and just really reaching out, making that extra step to further your connections with people is super, super important. Whew, 2 minutes left. Anybody have any questions? Did I cover everything that I was supposed to? I think so, possibly. Who knows? All right, well, thank you guys for hopping on. I will get this up. And let's
Alicia.
Mhm.
Oh, it froze. Okay, I just have one question, and I don't know if you can hear me because my screen's like freezing and glitching for whatever reason, but are we still, remember you said we were going to read that like 5 love languages book? Are we still going to do that, or did we push that off a little bit because the new people?
I totally forgot.
You don't have to do it either, but the other day, I think I have a copy of it, and the other day I thought of that, and I was like, I don't think we're supposed to be doing that. I don't know. And not that we have to do it either.
Yeah, no, I totally forgot. Maybe we should do something like that, maybe for September or something, and do something like that, maybe like mid-September, so that way people have time to order it. We could even include like the challenge group in it too, maybe do like a little book club or something. We can talk about that more. Maybe in like a couple weeks or something, or in a week.
Okay, sounds good.
Remind me if I forget. All right, thanks for hopping on, you guys. We have less than a minute, and I'll get this call it on the files. So, all right, have a good night, guys.